after taking up more responsibility. Greetings, everyone. So, what if you have already been doing work worth 30 to 40% more compensation, but nobody is going to offer it automatically unless you position it correctly? Let me repeat this. What if you have already been doing work worth 30 to 40% more compensation, but nobody is going to offer it automatically unless you position it correctly? Think about that carefully. Because right now, across organizations, there are professionals handling bigger teams, solving more complex problems, taking ownership beyond designation, covering additional responsibilities, but still earning based on an old version of their role. And the dangerous part is this: the longer this continues silently, the more your underpricing becomes normalized. Now, I know what many professionals think. My manager already knows my contribution. The company will eventually recognize me. I don't want to sound demanding, but here's the reality: organizations reward visible business value more consistently than silent sacrifice. And by the way, today is episode 52 of the 365 live sessions journey on career growth strategies. Every single day, we are discussing the practical career conversations professionals like you hesitate to have openly. So, let's discuss this strategically. How do you ask for a salary raise professionally after taking on additional responsibilities? Not emotionally, not aggressively, but strategically. How do you do that? More work alone does not automatically create more pay. That's fact number one. This is the first reality professionals must understand. Many people assume I am doing more work, so I deserve more money. Maybe true emotionally, but organizations usually evaluate business impact, scope expansion, decision making ownership, revenue or efficiency contribution, leadership responsibility, not just workload increase. That is why positioning matters. So the real question becomes, how do you make leadership see your expanded value professionally? How do you make leadership see your expanded value professionally? Let me share with you some strategies. Strategy number one: document role expansion before compensation discussion. Very, very critical. Most professionals enter compensation discussions without preparation, and they enter those discussions vaguely without data. Instead, prepare data, evidences around additional responsibilities handled, team leadership taken, problems you solved, business improvements created, escalations you managed, stakeholder ownership that increased, and most importantly, show the difference between your original role and your current contribution level. So, show the difference between your original role and your current contribution level. That creates a strong contrast, and also this contrast creates the negotiation power. Strategy number two, shift from need language to value language. Now, this changes everything. Weak positioning sounds like this: I have been working very hard. I feel I deserve a hike. Expenses are increasing so. And strong executive positioning sounds like this: over the last few months, my role scope has expanded significantly, and mention what it is. I have taken ownership across additional functions. Mention what it includes. I wanted to discuss aligning compensation with current contribution and responsibility levels. Notice the difference. Now it looks and sounds more professional, calm, business oriented. That creates maturity perception. And honestly, this is where many professionals struggle internally. You too, maybe. Because asking for compensation over often triggers fear. What if they say no? What if it affects the perception? What if they think I am money minded? But remember, professional growth conversations are normal. Senior professionals discuss value confidently, not with apology. Strategy number three, build external market awareness quietly. This is extremely critical. Sometimes professionals don't even know they are underpaid. Understand industry salary trends, industry salary benchmarks, market demand for your skills, compensation trends, replacement value, because awareness changes your confidence. And confidence changes negotiation energy. So, as I promised in episode 50, by the way, those of you who missed it, you can watch the recording or the replay. As promised in the 50th episode, I am sharing a bonus tip today, and that is on executive communication framework. Are you ready? So, this is a powerful bonus tip you wouldn't want to miss. You can implement this structure during your salary hike or salary raise discussions when you take up more responsibility. But let me tell you, it needs practice. It needs practice. Structure your conversation in three parts. Part number one, appreciation. And what you can say is this: you can rephrase as may be needed. An example: thank you for the opportunities and expanded responsibilities over the last few months. Part two, data and evidence. Over this period, I have taken ownership across, mention it, contributed to, mention it, and handled, mention what you have handled, beyond my initial scope. That is part two. So, part one is appreciation, part two is data and evidence, and part three is alignment request. So, what you can say is this: an example, I would love to discuss aligning my role and compensation with the current level of contribution and responsibility. So these are the three parts. Part one is appreciation, part two is data and evidence, and part three is alignment request. So if you structure it well, it looks simple, professional, and strategic. No emotional pressure, no aggression, and no defensiveness. That is executive communication maturity. So here's the mindset shift I want you to remember. Don't ask for a salary raise or a salary hike because you are frustrated, because you are tired. Ask because your contribution level has expanded and evolved. That changes the quality of the conversation completely. And if this conversation resonates with you, comment value below. Because many professionals are already operating at a higher level, but haven't yet learned how to position that value confidently, how to structure the conversation. And before we close, please block just 10 minutes daily for your own career growth. Because technical hard work alone is no longer enough. Professionals also need strategic thinking, communication structure and techniques, strategic positioning, visibility, negotiation maturity, leadership and executive presence. Those skills accelerate careers faster. And join me again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. IST for another live session where we will continue discussing practical strategies for career growth and leadership success. One conversation daily, one professional breakthrough at a time. Until then, don't silently outgrow your compensation. Learn how to communicate your value strategically. See you tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. IST. Thank you.